Please remember to like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video. Also, in the description of this video, you can find my compiled link. Through there, you can find my YouTube channel, Patreon, email, Your Playmat affiliate link, TCG Player affiliate link, Discord, Twitter, TikTok, and Non-Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, the CJ. Thank you for watching. How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We're doing a first thought today. This first thoughts is on Isshin, Two Heavens as One. Really cool Mardu commander. It's like Pain Harmonicon. Whenever a creature attacks and triggers an ability you control, triggers again. Seems fantastic. Lots of cool shenanigans you can do with this. And the categories I'll be talking about with it are attack triggers. These are mostly aggro cards that trigger when your creatures attack. Ways for those aggressive creatures to not die during combat. Then we have defensive cards, cards that trigger when your opponents attack you, because it does trigger, it does work with creatures your opponents control. It's whenever any creature attacks, triggers a permanent you control. So your opponent's attacking you, if it triggers something, it'll trigger twice. And then some extra combat stuff, and then some one-off cards, and then into 99. So not a huge list today, but I think this is a really cool commander, and it has a really, really unique deck. So we're starting off with attack triggers. You've got cards like Argus Koss, Wojak Veteran, make his stuff bigger. Alesha for extra reanimation. Archon of Cruelty just seems pretty bomby. Argentum Armors, great removal. Aurelia the War Leader, extra combat. Sun Titan and Grave Titan and Inferno Titan. All those have very powerful enters the battlefield effects and attack triggers. So those seem fantastic in the deck. Bruce Tarl can really swing the game by giving two of your creatures double strike and lifelink, so you can gain a ton of life all at once while dealing a ton of damage. Brutal Horde Chief just seems fantastic, auto include in this deck. Calculating Lich doesn't see a lot of play, but I think this is a good home for it. Chief Jim Hopper, this seems fantastic. It's from that secret layer, the Stranger Things secret layer, being able to investigate, get a lot of clues. It's good card draw. Atali, everyone knows Atali. Atali seems fantastic for this. Goldspan Dragon can ramp you a lot. Croxa just seems very powerful. Lucille, another secret layer card. This is from the Walking Dead secret layer. Make your opponent sacrifice extra creatures, get extra zombies, seems good. Rakshasa Debaser just seems very powerful in this deck. Sword of the Animist seems fantastic, good ramp. And yeah, that's what I got for attack triggers. And so a lot of these cards are creature cards that need to attack. The way to get in damage or the way to attack more safely, some of the good cards to include Archangel of Tides. This makes it expensive for your opponents to block. Then you have cards like Dolmen Gate and Iroas. So creatures, when they are blocked, doesn't matter, they don't die. That seems fantastic. Next, we're talking about defensive cards. So cards that you can put inside this deck. You're not going on the aggro. You're playing a little more pillow forty defensive, and these are cards that will trigger when your opponents try to attack you or attack your opponents often. So those cards include the Impetuses, those enchantments that you put on a creature, like Shiny Impetus, because you can goad your opponent's creatures, forcing them to attack, which is fantastic. And they can't attack you, which is also fantastic. And they trigger, and they'll trigger twice because you control the enchantment. Good stuff. Then you got stuff like Cunning Rhetoric and Mangara. Both those are like card draw. Hissing Miyamasa, Blood Reckoning, Revenge of the Ravens, and Merchase's Decree all seem fantastic. Just kind of drain your opponents as they attack you. Plus, Merchase's Decree brings in Monarch. Another card that brings in Monarch is Emberwild's Captain, which seems like an auto-include in this deck. And then you have cards like Lightmine Field, Power Stone Minefield, Hellrider, Caltrops. Those seem really good at kind of just killing your opponent's stuff. You have Kazul to make a bunch of tokens. And then Brina to just buff up your board state, like make your creatures a lot bigger. All those seem really cool. Also, curses work really well as defensive cards because there's a lot of curses that have attack triggers, like when you attack this opponent or when you attack the cursed player. And so that'll make it so your opponents want to attack this person because they get to do something twice. And those cards include Curse of Chaos, Curse of Bloodletting, Curse of Hospitality, Curse of Shallow Graves, Curse of Stalked Prey, Curse of Disturbance, and Curse of Opulence. Curse of Disturbance and Opulence being the best ones out of these in my opinion, because when your opponents attack the whatever, the cursed player, you're also reaping the benefits. And then you got cards that force your opponents to attack. Because if you got all this defensive stuff, you're going to want to make it so your opponents attack each other, so that, or have to attack, and so they want to attack each other so the game can end. So cards like Avatar of Slaughter, War's Toll, Carter, and Disrupt Decorum all seem pretty fantastic for this deck. Just making it so your opponents have to attack, and they don't want to attack you, or they just can't attack you. Seems good. Next up, we're going to talk about extra combat steps, because if you're going to have a lot of it, if you're going down the aggro style for this deck, you're going to want to be able to attack as much as possible, so that way you can get extra attack triggers done. So cards like Aggravated Assault, Port Razor, Relentless Assault, Seize the Day, Scourge of the Throne, Waves of Aggression, Morag. There's tons and tons and tons of good extra combat cards, and all those should end up being in this deck, or at least a good number. You're going to want to have a lot. And I think Waves of Aggression is a really good one, and Aggravated Assault is a really good one, because those ones let you do it more than once. They're just... Waves of Aggression is really cool because it's got Retrace. I love that card. Next up, we're going to talk about some one-off cards. First up is a kind of a one-off idea, and I mean, this is probably the way the deck is made to be built, but the idea, the plan that they had for this card, and that's Samurai Tribal, because a lot of samurais like attacking and have an attack trigger, so that could be something good. Like throw in some good samurais and some extra combat steps and go nuts, and a lot of cards that like cards that do Exalted. That seems very good for this, because those are going to be on the screen. I just can't name any off the top of my head. But if you're going to be... Because a lot of these cards say if it attacks... If it's the only one attacking or something similar to that. So you're going to want cards to make that creature bigger. Another one is like a little category thing. Annihilator. Just Annihilator in general doubles with Isshin. So any cards with Annihilator, like your Ulamogs and such... You get like any Eldrazi, really. There's some on the screen right now. Just double up the Annihilator, and those seem very good in this deck, especially if you have enough ramp to be able to actually cast them. And Blade Historian seems really good. Just give your stuff double strike. Love that. And in the 99, I just got one card I wanted to mention for in the 99, and that's Alesha, because being able to copy Alesha's ability in an Alesha deck seems like the absolute best thing you can do. So, yeah, do that. Definitely put Isshin inside your Alesha deck. And that's everything I wanted to talk about. That's everything I wanted to say for Isshin 2 Heavens as 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Peace out, everybody.